I don't want to go out there and make one mega video dissecting every comment and every little thing from every player, because I just want to let this breathe a little bit, man. I said this in the last video, but like, Canucks news is not fun right now. And I think just repeatedly noting how not fun it is also not fun. So we're going to try to get through this video commentary just by talking about one or maybe two guys. Because when it comes to the most expensive player on the Vancouver Canucks, 11.6, Elias Pettersson, we now have ourselves some word from him as to more details with JT Miller. And Pettersson's agent also spoke out, revealing some extra info on Pettersson's summer from last year. If you had seen the video we made, I think it was 2 days ago, Rick Tocchet talking about the Miller and Pettersson feud, you would have seen the comment that I made where I said, yeah, Elias Pettersson's media availability wasn't all too insightful. There wasn't too much that we learned from it. And I'll still stand by that here. I think a lot of what Elias Pettersson said during his postseason media availability was just kind of, okay, like, that's not surprising. A lot of stuff that we knew he was going to say. But I wanted to focus firstly on the Pettersson and Miller comments, because there was some solace that EP40 did provide when speaking about JT Miller, and it all comes to us in a 40-second clip on the TSN Twitter account, which I'm going to post in the description. Now, of course, the full video is also available on social media. The Canucks post these things all the time, but the clip in question that we care about is on TSN and it's transcribed, so it's easier for us to go out there and read it. The question is about what happened earlier in the season with you and JT. How difficult was that, and how much did it affect your play? Pettersson takes a while to answer it. He starts out by saying it was, and then he pauses. It's definitely not something I don't think either of us could have prepared for, the way it blew up. And that was like the focal point. Not if we won or we lost a game, it was like between us. Petey then drags on a little bit, says, yeah, maybe we weren't the best of friends, but we respected each other as teammates. And yeah, that's what I want to say. Now, responses to these comments have been interesting. A lot of folks are going out there and saying, oh, PD's soft and this and that, and like, I think most of that comes from disappointment. You know, like if Pettersson was going out there scoring 89 or 90 or 100 plus points on the year, I think a lot of fans would be like, yeah, he's soft, but he scores points. Look at this guy. We love him. 11.6. But because he was so disappointing this year, he only had 45 points on the season. His point production got cut in half from last year. Ridiculous, right? Because everybody was so disappointed, it points a lot more fingers onto the flaws of EP40 in his game. Oh, he is soft on his feet. Oh, he doesn't shoot. Oh, he falls down a lot. Oh, he's this. Oh, he's that. And this video clip of him talking about JT, where he doesn't really say anything, he just says, oh yeah, like the story blew up, and that was the main focus of the media and all people around the team. Wasn't whether we won or lost, everybody was just focused on JT and me. But it seems now that Petey is acknowledging that something was going on there. He said that neither of them could prepare for how everything blew up, which totally contradicts what he had said earlier during the season, where there was absolutely no rift and everything was okay. Which, you know, I'm not going to blame the guy for that. Miller and Petey both saying that, yeah, we're not fighting or anything. He kept on talking about that in the media. So definitely not anything too revolutionary, but it does kind of give us a little bit of breathing room now that Pettersson has fully acknowledged and spoken out about the JT Miller conflict. But the secondary reason why I wanted to make this video here is because of the extra commentary from Pettersson's agent as to where everything went wrong. I wanted to refer to a tweet made back in February. Yeah, this is from a while ago. But Rick Dhaliwal tweeted out about Pat Brisson, Pettersson's agent, speaking out on PD's season. He had a tough summer. He couldn't train at the level he wanted to due to an injury. He's a better player and a proud player. and still young and lots to offer. And this does work hand in hand with what we had seen out of Rick Tocchet, where he essentially said that Elias Pettersson didn't have a good summer training in the offseason. He didn't come to training camp as strong as he could have been or as in shape as he could have been. JT Miller was an absolute fitness freak that was one of the most refined guys in the room in that respect, but Pettersson had a subpar training offseason. And you can joke all you want about, oh, did he go to Bali? Was he running up and down some stairs? But back in February is where we learned, oh yeah, okay, he was hurt. That's why he didn't have as good of an offseason as he wanted to. And so hearing the comments made by Pettersson about his summer and about his training and about what it is that he's got to work on for next season, let's dive into that here too, because I do think we have to acknowledge that as well. Ian McIntyre made a post on sportsnet.ca yesterday that goes over enough of the comments that we need to dive into. All eyes on Pettersson's summer as the Canucks conclude a dysfunctional season. This will be also linked in the description below. The article talks about the same comments that Rick Tocchet made about how there's a bunch of pressure on Pettersson, etc., etc. It talks about the comments made by Patrik Allvin. How, hey, I don't believe that Pettersson was aware of how hard it was going to be. Just because you achieve one thing to get a long-term extension, life just gets harder. You haven't really accomplished anything. This is where the piece dives into the comments from Pettersson himself about his season. I think early in the season, maybe I kind of had the wrong mindset that, yes, I've signed a big contract and now I have to do more instead of just being me. And then when the points didn't come, I tend to overthink. I've touched them before, I'm not perfect. I'm trying to be, but yeah, it's been a lot of adversity this year. But I'm always trying to believe I can grow from it and learn to be better. And then IMAC does something really interesting. Take a look at this next paragraph. Former Canucks coach Mark Crawford once explained that Daniel and Henrik Sedin, who became Hall of Famers and are part of Vancouver's player development staff, became great players when they stopped falling down, quote unquote. It sounds simplistic, but the Sedins just had to get stronger so they could stay on their feet, protect the puck, and make plays. That's what I need, Pettersson said. Strength doesn't come easy for me. I didn't get the best genetics from my parents. But I know, obviously, I was dealing with a knee injury last offseason that kind of was a little tough on my training last summer. It was hard to truly train at 100% last summer. But with that being said, I'm just trying to look forward. It sucks we're not playing still, but I'm going to take this time to take advantage of the extra month of training to come in ready for next season. IMAC in this article then talks about how Patrik Allvin really wanted Pettersson to stay in Vancouver and not go back home, where the Canucks can supervise him, and Pettersson said on Friday that he will start his off-season training here, stay for a little bit as well, before going home. Tocchet said, and the next part of this article, which, we don't need to dive into everything this article says, but the last part that I wanted to talk about was the next few paragraphs, which dive into Quinn Hughes and his off-season training. Take a look at this. Rick Tocchet said some of Quinn Hughes' teammates may join him in Michigan at his dad, Jim's, high-performance camp in August. The Hughes added an additional mini-camp last summer due to demand from NHL players. Jim Hughes works as a development coach for agents JP Barry and Pat Brisson, whose clients include Elias Pettersson. Quinn Hughes is believed to have talked to PD about this. They briefly trained together 4 years ago when both were awaiting new contracts. And I'm just going to say this. If Elias Pettersson can do the Quinn Hughes training regime and come back and improve in the same ways that Quinn has over the years, there is no stopping what Elias Pettersson is capable of doing, if that is reality. But of course, we need to wait and see. Hopefully he is fully healthy and not carrying some sort of a knee ailment that derails his entire development this offseason like it had last offseason. But ultimately time will tell, whether it's Rick Tocchet at the helm or not next season. Elias Pettersson was not himself. And hopefully we'll see him eventually come back to the form that we know he can achieve, because he's making $11.6 million and he needs to be better. It's that simple. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about Elias Pettersson and the comments that he made about JT Miller. What are your thoughts on PD's off-season training being brought up? And do you think it's actually going to fix itself this summer? Let me know in the comments all your opinions. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.